Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. Here we are, Friday, TGIF, end of the summer, 28th of August. Dun dun dun. Do have options expiry today. It is the end of the summer, though, so it's really kind of Malaysia market. We've got the Fed now finally out of the way, so we can stop sort of humming and hawing about what the heck they're going to do. And the irony of all of this is really, you could make the argument the Fed's almost been taken out of the equation because their sort of preferred tool is short-term interest rates. And basically, short-term interest rates are at zero and not really going anywhere. I suppose they can start talking negative interest rates, although I doubt the Americans really want to go down that rabbit hole. The general tone coming out of that Jackson Hole sort of presentation speech by Mr. Powell, the impression I got was they're just saying, look, you know what, we're not going to sort of jump on inflation if we start seeing it. If anything, maybe a little bit of inflation isn't so bad. And so we're not going to be obsessing about inflation every single day, and we're just going to sort of go to sleep. I do find it interesting, and if anything, I think it makes absolute perfect sense. Mr. Morgan, we all know who he is, once said that millionaires consider astrology and astrological events meaningless. Billionaires, however, pay attention. We do have once basically every, and you could argue fear, greed. We're in the generational part of the cycle where it's fear that's dominating, and once about every 40 years, we go through one of these massive fear apexes, and just so happens that Jupiter and Saturn happen to cross paths right around the same time. I mean, the cool part about it is you can go back and do the research yourself. It's not like I'm making this shit up. You can validate and go, holy crap, look at the correlation. But we have a big Jupiter-Saturn cross coming up here. The last time that we had one, in essence, the conversation was all about runaway inflation. And interest rates are going to go to the moon. In fact, a government policy was exercised to create a war on inflation. And gee whiz, on the exact opposite side of the spectrum, the exact opposite end of the cycle, now we have the Fed might never hike rates again. You gotta be kidding me. Don't get sucked into this shit. I mean, it's the same thing as the dot-com boom. University professors were making fun of massive company CEOs who were selling out and taking profits into the dot-com peak, and the university professors with a perfectly straight face were making fun of these people, saying that growth was endless, growth would never end, and these stock prices were never coming back down to earth. And within 2 or 3 years, some of those companies were actually bankrupt, worth zero. So I see the same shit is happening this cycle. This is going to go on now probably for the next 6 months. We're going to be talking lunacy, economic policy. Fear is going to dominate. And my simple message to our community is don't let that happen to you. If you are going to invest your hard-earned money, have solid reasons, and of course they should be both fundamental and technical, or what we like to call rational reasons to risk your money in the marketplace. So be forewarned, people. I see the emotional apex coming, and it's very cliche. With regard to your presentation that I like to do for you guys, heading into the end of the summer, out of the Fed conference, I'm a little leery about believing that the US dollar has started a new leg lower. I did see some manufactured US dollar indexes, like by this site TradingView, that were showing lower prints, but I don't see them just yet. Having said that, if these lows can hold, And we can turn back up and close back above this level. What is that? That's 93.29. Then believe it or not, that actually turns into a buy signal on the US dollar for me. If we do break these lows, then it just simply means that, the trend continuation pattern continues and we're probably heading lower. So we have not broken this low. We're heading into a very funny weekend holiday session. So I'm a little bit leery about whether I really want to turn into a massive US dollar bear at this point. That seems a little unrealistic. Having said that, big down day on the US dollar index, so that should be risk on. I did see that, things like the stock market trying to work its way a bit higher. Probably options expiry is probably going to put some sort of lid on price. And I did see the oil price. Remember, we were talking about that the other day. We might have an empire top coming in here. Still early and no signal has been fired today. Looks like today's just going to be a boring inside day. Hurry up and do nothing there in the oil market. So we'll keep an eye out that. If anything, it's probably better that happens and the signal comes in next week so that maybe that empire's got a little bit of validity. And also, too, think about Gulf of Mexico. Why did the oil price get bid up? Was it sort of hurricane fears and that kind of conversation? And is that still on the table? And from what I understand, the hurricanes are starting to move inland and no real damage done to oil infrastructure. So we'll keep an eye on this. And like I said to you yesterday, oil stocks themselves look a little heavy. So, of course, I'm not a bull here anyway. And I would like to see the oil price top out. I noticed gasoline prices are starting to get kind of expensive again. Even though the economy is sort of like, just muddling along. So maybe oil price getting a little high. If anything, if we're going to be looking for a top in the stock market, one of the best time-tested rules you can use is what they call the Dow theory. And it's just simply, if you ever see the industrials move to new highs, but the transports do not, that's what they call a Dow theory sell signal. So you can see industrials moving to new highs, transports are moving to new highs, so there really isn't any top there just yet. Did buy some insurance policies in the stock market a month or so ago. None of them have done anything, and I don't really expect them to do much. And if, we like to follow the breadth indicator on the site pretty well or closely to give us an idea of what to expect going forward. And you can see the breadth indicator actually now is starting to wash out here. We might actually start getting bullish again of the stock market. Imagine that. And interestingly enough, we did have a couple ideas that were starting to put in some half-decent bullish price action. Went and pulled the trigger, and actually they're doing pretty good. So, ironically enough, one stock I did pull the trigger on. The signal came in. I had to act. I was supposed to act. I did act. And I actually spent half of the day sort of apologizing to the community about taking the trade. I don't know what's going to happen, but the damn setup's come in, so I got to take it. And, here we are. Up a good 5% on the day so far. I don't know. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. I trade setups. This was a valid, actually, this was about 2 or 3 different setups. This was a nice L Tangonator. It was a nice LJ. We also had nice inverted head and shoulders. So what the hell I bought? Well, looks like we're doing okay there. And that's sort of what I'm seeing in the stock market. Right? We had a market that got a little bit too far too fast. Needed to clean up. The major indexes, they didn't even blink, right? Because they're all, of course, comprised of just about a dozen or so big stocks that are just churning higher. So the major indexes didn't even blink. The part of the market that kind of softened was the junior market, the intermediate market, that kind of stuff. And that's sort of what we see in this Russell 2000 versus the Dow study here. So this is where, if there was stock market weakness, this is where it was expressed. You remember there was guys coming in and touting buying crypto stocks and stuff like that right at the top of the range, and they all got punished. So that was their punishment there. The interesting thing is, now we're coming back down into key lows, right? Ironically enough, if you are a bull, now's when you actually got to start hunting for the W's. And I'm seeing W's come in. It's like I said, picked up some of those cruise stocks. In fact, I had a nice little matrix of stocks that I was following. I don't know what the hell I did with it, though. It's around here somewhere. Here we are. I mean, look at all these deltas taken off. There's our Carnival, Royal Caribbean. We were watching this discount airline. It hasn't quite broken out yet, but getting darn close. Then my little hotel stocks. Hotels are looking interesting. Simon Properties, this hot. I think on our screeners we even had a bullish key reversal on some of the... where the hell's that page? Too many pages! My head's gonna explode. Here we are. If I'm not mistaken, I thought this was really cool. Our screeners, look at that. They're all over Carnival, Norwegian Cruise Lines. Actually, that damn Norwegian. I was looking at that earlier too, wasn't I? Simon Properties. That's sort of along the lines of that hot kind of idea. I did see here Boston Properties. They've probably got a bunch of like hotels and stuff. So you can start to see money is starting to come back. And actually what's really cool about things like crypto is you can see if your name is hot right now, oh boy, you got a good fundamental story. Look at this. I mean, to me, this has got A, B, C, D written all over it. Like, oh, wow. Yes, of course, I have to pay myself when these things do double, my strategy. So, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I got my next level all ready to go, and A, B, C, D. You can see the market wants to press up into there. Like storage. Look at this crazy one. I'll tell you, if you see assets look like this, it's very hard for me to say, well, Bitcoin's topped out. It's heading down. In that kind of market state, this thing still looks like it has more up ahead of me, and it's sort of like it's the du jour story. And we say the longer the channel, the bigger the run. You should actually be able to take a line and simply draw the distance of the channel and then be able to, and I've never been able to do this because it never works for me, but be able to take this line and just literally translate it straight, exact same distance up. And I just eyeballed that. I don't know what's going to happen. But you tell me. Is it realistic that this thing just comes up and trades into these wicks? Sure. It's not really out of the question. And then zoom out a bit. Is this thing got any room to move back up here if it gets its act together? You tell me. I mean... So as long as we have this kind of environment and you still see names pressing higher here, and now that the breadth has cleaned itself up, we could actually go into a really nice little rally window here. Trade setups, right? I put notes out about this, like about these perp indexes. Don't chase, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. You want to know what I'm buying? Right? Look at this chart. Look how that looks. It's a big W. Or, in crypto. What would Brian be buying in crypto right now? Well, I like to buy things that are trading at the bottom ends of their ranges. I had a long conversation. I already bought this Decred, but it looks like it's coming right back into another buying window there. Thought I had it on here. But, where can I put this? Oh, well. Anyway, here it is. This is a name I'm interested in. So you tell me, is there any room for this thing to move up here at all? Don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. This guy was a son of a gun too, because this is an extremely controlled coin. So working these bids here, you had to be patient, 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 patient. Finally starting to get some bids filled. Got another order down here in these tails. So we'll see whether I can do a bit more buying. But that's the kind of stuff that I would be buying, right? Very boring. Nobody's interested. When the thing pops, of course, Brian's going to be selling. Kind of a discombobulated message here today. Sorry, everybody. Bonds, man, we talked about that lots yesterday, working its way lower down into a reload zone against key support, so not a big surprise to see a bit of a pullback there. All you gold bugs, did see a lot of people, oh, I like that gold, I like that gold, I like the gold bots, oh, I like. So it doesn't surprise me that, keep in mind, this is when the fear apex is, this is when gold should go ape shit. I wouldn't be surprised if gold rallies up to $2,000-3,000 into this peak. Is this value? No. But at the same time, too, traders got to trade. You want to make money from trading. If the asset's moving up, you might as well try and play it. I like the idea of waiting for some sort of structure on the other side of this trend line. You can see we're trying to accept on the other side of it. Now give me some sort of W on the other side, and away we go. And from what I understand, silver's setting up very similarly too. So, is there anything for me to do here today? No. But you can see the constructive process of setting up the next trade is underway. Talked a little bit about the junior market cleaning itself up, getting ready for the next run. I noticed, leading sectors of the market you want to keep an eye on. Pod stocks, I think, are definitely a leading sector. And I noticed the pod stocks are starting to firm up. So, got a couple pod names that I like. We're long, free shares, so there's really no hurry. We'll just see where the hell this thing goes. But you can see the bottom that came in there a few days ago. He's trying to start turn. You can see the turn starting to come. And AFI is another one that I like that's a free position. And you can start to see he's turning back up. So, slowly but surely the little junior market's trying to get its act together. I don't know what the hell I did with that damn AFI. Probably talking too much. Yeah, we'll leave it. Go look at the symbol if you're curious. So, actually starting to get interested back on the buy side again, believe it or not. Like I said, there are names like this cruise stock where, if the setups come in, I got to pull the trigger, got to take trade. I'm long. Heading on over to the corn. As I had sort of showed you there a minute ago with a lot of the alts, I don't really have a breakdown per se in the altcoin, say the shit coins, sort of the altcoin market, but at the same time too, let's all understand exactly what this looks like. If we start breaking and closing below this trend line, then we got troubles, head and shoulders, all that kind of talk. You can see it's having an up day here, and of course, like I said there just a moment ago, you want to take these NMR. Here's another one, right? These are our darlings du jour. They tried to push this thing higher. Are they going to get a new clothesline high here? It looks to me like they want to take this thing higher. Can I come in on the buy side here? No fucking way. So, that's the kind of market it is. It's probably a little bit too late to be buyers of a lot of these names. But, if you're interested, just make damn sure to hunt those setups and just be crisp and don't chase. I think you've heard me say that once or twice before. I noticed that, I guess the CIS kind of backed off there, but he had a big jump. That Storage, these just happen to be the names that I have on the books here. That Ant was looking very uppy. I really like the look price action at Decred. I've already bought some, so I don't need to add any more. But if we get an inside bar that fires there, I could see this thing take off again. I'm trying to come in on the buy side on Dash against these lows. Trying to come in on the buy side on Augur against these lows. But I'm not allowed to chase. I couldn't buy something like Ethereum up here. I just couldn't do it. But anyway, so point here is... we put on these market symmetry studies. I love this kind of thinking. I don't know. I doubt we're going to crap out all the way back down here, but we might. Who knows? But, over the next week, this is basically, the end of the summer. Lots of volatility. Trade right back up to the old highs. Trade right back down to these lows. Really freak out the community. And in this kind of environment, actually, your little altcoins like that Mona and the Storage and stuff, if you can bang out doubles, maybe even just take the money and convert it right back to cash. not a bad idea. But, heading into the weekend, like I said, things don't look bad. And there are some names that actually look very uppy. It looks to me like the Fed is not a concern in the market right now. So that means there's basically a window of about a week here before the holiday weekend. And on the other side of the Fed, where we could actually have a lot of fun in the market here. So be ready. Trade your plan, trade your setups. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this CCL pops up and I get a double here in the next week. Who knows? I doubt it, but, stranger things have happened. The only thing I'll sort of leave off is, again, the commentary, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. Did put out tweets this morning to the effect that, man, there are we're heading into a growth environment. And ironically enough, in growth markets, you get stuff like this that can happen out of nowhere. Bang! I put tweets out to this. I mean, I woke up this morning and damn stock was right up top here. But it just goes to show, very illiquid market, very thin market. They can move price dramatically, very, very easily. Don't chase. You want to come in? You can join me. Work your bids at gaps, just like that geo that I showed you. Stock market, crypto market, same thing. But the point here is this market has actually been dormant for the past 15 years. And it's just now waking up. I believe that we got like 15 years of this ahead of us. Man, learn this VCIM model now. It can make you stinking rich. And basically, we haven't. The interesting thing is through the fear part of the cycle, basically since the dot-com boom, the venture market really hasn't done a hell of a lot. I suppose, the Chinese build out, all that kind of stuff, that was the end of that move. And then it had to absolutely crater. But it's starting to wake up. And these penny stock players, man, they can make a lot of money really quickly. I suppose you could just buy W's and sell at chaos levels and rinse and repeat and reload at gaps and just own this market. So, super interesting time to be participating in the capital markets. And if you can position yourself for the next 10, 15 years, man, there's a lot of money to be made here. So, trade your plan, build your plan. Remember what your number one job is. Don't take too big of bets. Don't get greedy. Market doubles in price. What the fuck? Maybe take some profits. Do people normally double their money in the stock market or in crypto markets on a daily basis? Not really. But that's what we do at TRI, and I have to say I'm damn proud of what we do here. I mean, day in, day out, we just come and just do our thing. And getting involved in stories that double and quadruple and stuff very quickly like this isn't normal. We have a gift, and gee whiz, what an awesome gift this is. We're so lucky. Anyway. Okay, everybody, have yourselves a great weekend. Try to play from a position of strength, right? Remember what your number one job is. And, of course, we'll see everybody for broiler chickens. Hopefully, on that Sunday show, we have a nice upbeat market, lots of profits to talk about, and fingers crossed. So, have yourselves a great day. All the best. Maybe pick up some Geo if you can. And bye for now.